No Mbappe, no Cavani, no Neymar. No problem for PSG. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich. If you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button. I'll be doing Champions League coverage all season long. The road to 30K is in full effect, guys. So the more people we have in our family, the better. Also, if you're interested in copping one of these cards, visit cardsplug.com/DominicRichFC and enter the coupon code DominicRichFC to get yourself 5% off. I'm currently doing a promotion on this in order to help the channel, get some proceeds. Every time you buy one, I get a slice of the pie. But guys, let's talk about Matchday 1 of the 2019-20 UEFA Champions League. I already covered the Tuesday fixtures yesterday, so make sure you go check out that video. Napoli defeated Liverpool 2-0. Red Bull Salzburg, they smashed Genk 6-2. Rasenball Sport Leipzig, or Red Bull Leipzig, defeating Benfica 2-1. Ajax defeated Lille 3-0. And last season's semi-finalists looks like they are not having a lot of problems without De Ligt and De Jong. Valencia currently going through a bit of turmoil, sacking their manager Marcelino and all. They defeated Chelsea at home to basically give Frank Lampard a slap in his face on his Champions League managerial debut. Slavia Praha frustrated Inter Milan and they picked up a very valuable point. I think they should have won the game. Lyon and Zenit played to a draw, and Barcelona miraculously held Dortmund to a 0-0 draw without Lionel Messi starting. He did come on for the youngster 16-year-old phenom Ansu Fati, with Marc-Andre ter Stegen, the German, being the hero for Barcelona in Germany. So big 1 point on the road for Barcelona, who has not been traveling well as of late. But guys, let's talk about the games from today, man. We have a lot of games to go through. Unlike yesterday, I actually waited and watched every single one of the highlights for all the games. Today, I saw 3 games. I saw an earlier game between Olympiacos and Tottenham Hotspur. That was a really exciting game. And then I simultaneously watched the Manchester City Shakhtar Donetsk match and the PSG against Real Madrid fixture. So we have quite a lot to go through. There were some good games today. So let's start with the Group A fixture between Club Brugge and Galatasaray, man. This was one exciting game despite it finishing in a 0-0 draw. Both teams had great chances, which none of them could get into the back of the net. But all in all, I think it's a fair result. But Club Brugge should have won this game. They had way too many chances and failed to punish Galatasaray. But you have to take your hats off to the goalkeepers though. Mignolet and Muslera both had good games. Well, for Mignolet, that really good chance by Ryan Babel was saved from his face. So I don't think he had a lot to do with that. But it's his face, so he did save it. As for stats in this game, Club Brugge 12 shots at goal, 2 on target. Galatasaray 10 shots at goal, 1 on target. So both teams were wasteful in that department. Club Brugge had 42% of the possession while Galatasaray had 58%. Both teams were similar in most departments, but Galatasaray must feel aggrieved that they couldn't pick up a victory in this game because they have a very star-studded lineup with the likes of Falcao, Jean-Michel Seri, Ryan Babel, African Cup of Nations winner Sofiane Feghouli, Steven Onzonzi, Fernando Muslera, Yuto Nagatomo, the Japanese veteran. But as they say, guys, football is not won on paper. Club Brugge were the more impressive team, in my opinion, from watching the highlights. Club Brugge have lost only one of their last 11 matches in European competition, including 5 qualifiers, winning 5 and drawing 5. So this team has been quite impressive. I guess they're showing us that they are the best team in Belgium, unlike Genk that got smashed yesterday. Another insight for you, Galatasaray are winless in the last 15 Champions League away games. Like, that's ridiculous. Drawing 3 and losing 12. They last tasted away victory in March of 2013 against FC Schalke. That's a very, very terrible away record. So for T. Terim and his boys, know what they need to work on. Guys, keep your eye on Galatasaray on the road. And there's also another one. Club Brugge are the first team in Champions League history to draw 3 successive games by a 0-0 scoreline. And that's rolling over from the last time they were in the Champions League. So good stuff by Club Brugge though. Good stuff. For the other Group A fixture that I saw between PSG and Real Madrid, man. Oh man, this one was a blockbuster. This is a marquee fixture. But PSG, they totally destroyed Real Madrid. 3-0, comprehensively beaten off the park was Real Madrid. And this happened without the likes of Cavani, Mbappe, and Neymar in the team, not even in the squad. Neymar serving a ban from last season when he, lipped off and stuff. And then Cavani and Mbappe were injured. But no Mbappe, no Cavani, no Neymar. No problem for PSG, who are showing that they have depth in this squad. They did some business during the transfer window and all. And Thomas Tuchel and his boys came out here and whipped Zinedine Zidane and Real Madrid. This was a good game. This was a really good game. A lot of the Real Madrid players, a few of them played for PSG, and quite a few of the PSG players once represented Real Madrid. So these players are familiar with each other. The opening goal scored by Di Maria. Courtois should have never got beaten at his near post, and Di Maria scoring against his old team there. He popped up again beautifully set up by Idrissa Gana Gueye, who had an excellent game for PSG on his Champions League debut. This might be his Champions League debut for real, because Everton hasn't been in the Champions League ever. Have they ever been in the Champions League? So he coming over from Everton and he had a spectacular game. And Di Maria with the shot from distance beating Courtois once again. Real Madrid did score one through Gareth Bale, but on a close review, VAR overturned it for handball. You can see him controlling the ball with his arm, like a little T-Rex arm there, So that was quite unfortunate for Gareth Bale, who are one of the bright spots for Real Madrid on the day. Real Madrid did score another goal, but that was chalked off as offside. So they had 2 disallowed goals in a game where they failed to register a single shot on target. Horrible performance by Real Madrid. The nail was put in the coffin late in extra time when Meunier and Bernat linked up brilliantly, and Meunier put in the 3rd goal for PSG. As for stats in this game, guys, PSG 9 shots at goal, 5 on target. Real Madrid 10 shots at goal, none on target. Horrible. The possession was pretty even, with PSG having 53%, Real Madrid 43%. Similar amount of passes, passing style of football implemented by both teams. Very accurate passing as well, I must say, 89 and 85% respectively. Equal amount of fouls with 14 and 15. It was a good game. It was a brilliant game, but PSG played Real Madrid off the park. I really enjoyed watching this game because I got to see Keylor Navas played against his old team. Guys, Keylor Navas is now the #1 goalkeeper for PSG, as you all should know. Then, Thiago Silva, Meunier, Kimpembe, Bernat at the back. Bernat had a really good game. The former Bayern Munich man was on fire today. Then, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Marquinhos, and Verratti in the midfield. Marquinhos had to go off injured, I think. And then Sarabia, who was once a Real Madrid youth product. Icardi, who was once a Barcelona youth product. The exiled Inter Milan man, their former captain. He looked pretty bright today, making his official PSG debut. First start for him. Looked okay up top. And then Di Maria, man, Real Madrid's tormentor. He spent quite a few seasons at the club, even won a Champions League title with them. Then for Real Madrid, Eden Hazard did not have the best of Champions League debut for Real Madrid at all. Then Karim Benzema, Gareth Bale, bright spot for Real Madrid. Toni Kroos, very quiet game. Casemiro and James Rodriguez, he dazzled a bit, but it was quite ineffective in the end. Ferland Mendy had a so-so game. Then Militao had a terrible game. This is his debut in the Champions League for Real Madrid as well. Terrible start for Eder Militao, the former Porto man. They big time missed Sergio Ramos at the back today. Missed Luka Modric in the midfield as well. Raphael Varane, he had a so-so game. He's a Frenchman as well, coming back home basically. Dani Carvajal was quite absent. Did Dani Carvajal even play the game? And then Courtois, man, don't get me started on Courtois. Hasn't kept a clean sheet all season for Real Madrid. The Belgian has seemingly regressed. I could remember back in 2014 when he was playing for Atletico Madrid on loan from Chelsea, and he pulled off some big saves and he knocked out his parent club. And Atletico Madrid was in the final that season. He went back to Chelsea, rose up to prominence, forced the move to Real Madrid. And since he went to Real Madrid, he has been straight doo-doo. He has been straight freaking basura. Seriously. And for some of you guys who don't know, basura means garbage in Spanish. So, terrible stuff by Zinedine Zidane and Real Madrid, man. Off the bench, Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting came on for PSG. He has been brilliant for them. And the Herrera, solid little cameo. And Abdou Diallo, who came from Borussia Dortmund, looks a neat player. Lucas Vasquez came off the bench along with Luka Jovic and Vinicius Jr. to little to no effect for Real Madrid. So what is going to be for Real Madrid? A lot of people are predicting Real Madrid not to get through this group, but we will just have to wait and see. It's a very tricky situation here, but I think Real Madrid should come through. I predicted them to come through as top, but if they continue playing like this, who knows? Who knows what might happen? But guys, that's my thoughts on the PSG 3 Real Madrid 0 fixture. I want you to let me know yours in the comment section down below. But wait, I should give you some insight from this match as well. Real Madrid have lost consecutive Champions League game for the first time since April 2003 when they did so under Jose Mourinho. So not a good thing for Real Madrid here at all. Real Madrid failed to have a single shot on target against PSG tonight. The first time this has happened in the UEFA Champions League since Opta began collecting such data in the competition since the 03-04 seasons. 167 Champions League games. This is the first time Real Madrid have failed to get a single shot on target. Horrible hogwash performance. Real Madrid suffered their joint heaviest defeat on opening match day of group stage campaigns in Champions League history. A 3-0 loss against Bayer Leverkusen in 2004 and a 3-0 loss against Olympic Lyon in 2005. That was a time when, you know, both Leverkusen and Lyon was on fire. So great performance by PSG. Oh, wait. You know what? Let me not hype up PSG, guys, because they have been teasing us for quite some time. Could they win the Champions League this season, man? It's kind of now or never for them, right? Which brings us to the Group B fixture between Olympiacos and Tottenham Hotspur. Great result by the Greek outfit, man. A 2-2 draw, picking up a point against Tottenham, who haven't really been good on the road as of late. The last 15 games or so, they have been terrible, doo-doo, dog shit on the road. Tottenham did open the scoring in the 26th minute through Harry Kane. It was a valid penalty. He did not dive, guys. He did not dive. He stepped up and he scored to open the scoring for Tottenham. And this happened against the run of play because Olympiacos were ripping them apart in the first 25 minutes. So it was quite unfair for them to concede at that time. But guys, we know life ain't fair and things like that do happen. Tottenham Hotspur went 2-0 up 4 minutes later through Lucas Moura, man. What a freaking goal by Moura, who is quite underrated and he hasn't been getting the best of treatment at Tottenham, to be honest. He was their savior last season with the hat-trick in the semi-final and he hasn't been starting for them. Son even came off the bench as well. So maybe it's a rotation policy by Pochettino, but it was a poor performance. Very poor performance in the end because they allowed Olympiacos to get back in this game. It was Daniel Podence who scored in the 44th minute. I think it was him linking up with Valbuena and he got behind Tottenham's defense and he belted it past Hugo Lloris to half the deficit. Podence looks a very neat player. Guys, keep your eye on this player. And coming back in the second half, Matteo Valbuena equalized for Olympiacos after Jan Vertonghen took down the Olympiacos player in the box. That was quite a stupid tackle. I think that was Valbuena he took down from behind as well. And the former French international, the pocket rocket, the jack in the box, you know, pop out on you. That guy is such a live wire. He beat Lloris, his former French teammate, to put Olympiacos level. Great result for the Greek team. Tanguy Ndombele also made his Tottenham Hotspur Champions League debut, so I must make note of that one. Stats in the game: Olympiacos 17 shots at goal, 5 on target. Like, damn, they peppered Tottenham's goal. 10 shots at goal, 5 on target for Tottenham. The possession was 44 to Olympiacos, 56 for Tottenham. So Olympiacos had a lot of the ball. They passed the ball very well. 460 passes with an 86% pass completion. Similar stats for Tottenham. So great performance by Olympiacos. I can't say this enough. For some insights here, guys. I really like these insights though. A lot of good facts here for you guys. Tottenham failed to win a Champions League game, having been 2 goals ahead for the second time and first since drawing 2-2 with Werder Bremen in 2010. So this is the second time this is happening. The first time in 9 years. So it's not a habit. It's not a bad habit, but still, it's poor. Giving up a 2-0 lead like that is not good. Since the start of last season, Spurs have conceded more goals than any side in the Champions League with 21. Well, we're talking about Champions League here. So not good at all. Not good. Olympiacos are winless in 9 Champions League matches with 2 draws and 7 losses, their longest winless run in the competition. So although they did not pick up a win in their last 9 games, this is still a big result. This feels like a win because the fans did come out to show their support for the team, and they would go back home feeling very happy. For the other Group B match, Bayern Munich defeated Crvena Zvezda or Red Star Belgrade 3-0. The scoreline does not tell the true nature of the game. Red Star wasn't wiped out or blown out the park or anything, but it's how they approach the game. It's, you know, they approach the game very defensively. Very. Well, they parked the bus. Let me just say they parked the bus. They conceded 1 goal in the 34th minute. It was a brilliant cross by Ivan Perisic, making his Champions League debut for Bayern Munich, and it was a thumping header by Kingsley Coman to open the scoring. Bayern Munich did get a few more chances, which they failed to put past the Canadian international shot stopper Milan Borjan, who was brilliant again for Red Star on the day. I had to take my time and say that because that was a lot to say though. That was a lot. That was quite a lot. So it was 1-0 up until the 80th minute, and then Robert Lewandowski scored a very scrappy goal to extend Bayern Munich's lead. And then Thomas Muller came off the bench to put the final nail in Red Star's coffin. Red Star did not get a lot of chances. Their best chance fell to Marco Marin, the former German international, and he put it wide off the far post. So Manuel Neuer did not have a lot to do in the game. So Red Star will definitely be looking forward for the home leg, where I think they would put on a better performance, or would they? As for stats in this game, guys, Bayern Munich had 33 shots at goal with 11 on target. They only scored 3. So very good rear-guard action by Crvena Zvezda. I told you guys, I saw the highlights. You know, they parked the bus very well. They themselves had 7 shots at goal and registered none on target. Bayern Munich had the bulk of the possession with 73%, Red Star 27. They were outplayed in all departments though. They were outplayed, and I think they approached the game right, because if they tried to take the game to Bayern, we could have seen an ugly scoreline, maybe an 8-0. And it's not beyond Bayern Munich to do things like that against smaller teams. So good start to the competition for the German champions. Robert Lewandowski would do well with that goal. Thomas Muller as well. Thomas Muller, man, off the bench. Damn. But he's a good team man though. He's a good team man. When he scored, he was happy. It looks like, you know, he's going with the plan. So good win for Niko Kovac. So what we're going to do, we're going to skip the Group C matches because, you know, my team is in Group C, and the team Dinamo I followed last season is also in Group C. So I'll skip those and, you know, talk about Group D right now. The first Group D match I want to talk about is the Bayer Leverkusen 1, Lokomotiv Moscow 2. And this is a very interesting game as well. Lokomotiv opened the scoring through Grzegorz Kajkowiak in the 14th minute. Very horrible defending by Leverkusen, man. And they have themselves to blame for this loss. It was actually the 16th minute. My bad. 16th minute, not the 14th. But pretty close, though. Pretty close. Bayer Leverkusen did equalize in the 25th minute via a Benedikt Höwedes own goal. He's a German, back in Germany, and, you know, he helped out the Germans there. But the game didn't stay level for a very long time. A very horrible, stupid mistake by the goalkeeper, Hradecki, I think his name is, the Finn international. Oh my God, what are you doing? What? It was a terrible back pass though. That back pass, was it Bellarabi or Jonathan? One of them passed the ball back to him, and instead of just using his brain, if he even has one today, Kick it out, kick it far away. He passed it back to Baranov, who just slotted it into an open net. So the score sheet doesn't really tell the true nature of the game. Bayer Leverkusen simply gifted this game to they gifted the game to Lokomotiv Moscow. And I'll tell you why. Because they had numerous amount of chances, to equalize. But Guilherme, the goalkeeper from Lokomotiv Moscow, was very, very good on the day, man. Very, very good performance there. So, guys, listen to these stats. Bayer Leverkusen, 17 shots at goal, 5 on target. Lokomotiv Moscow, 8 at goal, 4 on target. Leverkusen had 78% of the possession. They had most of the ball, almost all of the ball. 22% possession for Lokomotiv Moscow. So after they went ahead in 37 minutes, they basically kept what they had and parked the freaking bus. And they did so quite effectively. So Leverkusen will be ruined the fact that they couldn't put in one of those 17 shots past Guilherme. Well, they did put in one to how it is, own goal, gifted again. It was all gifts in this game. It was all gifts, but Leverkusen, man, 832 passes with an 89% pass completion. 238 passes for Lokomotiv Moscow with a 66% pass completion. So they weren't pretty, but you know what's good? They picked up the 3 points, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. The newspaper article would never say what happened in the stats. It would just say a win for Lokomotiv Moscow on the road. It won't be easy traveling to Russia as well. So Leverkusen, you will be scratching your head right now. Some insights, man. More insights. Guys, if you like these insights, let me know in the comment section down below because I really, really like them. By defeating Bayer Leverkusen, Lokomotiv Moscow have ended a run of 7 straight defeats against German clubs and scored as many goals as they managed in that run too. So this is a remarkable achievement by the Russian team. Lokomotiv Moscow have conceded at least 1 goal in their 13 away games in Champions League. Last keeping a clean sheet in September of 2002 against Club Brugge. So they're not very good at keeping clean sheets, but it doesn't matter. They picked up the win. Lokomotiv Moscow won their match against Bayer Leverkusen with just 22% possession, the lowest such figure for a winning side in the Champions League since Celtic beat Barcelona in 2012 with a 15.4% possession. Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff by Lokomotiv Moscow. Great performance. For the next match in Group B, the marquee fixture between Atletico Madrid and Juventus. These two teams met in the knockout stages last season and Juventus prevailed. It was the round of 16, right? If I'm not mistaken. Diego Simeone, he won the first leg and did the whole cojones celebration. And then Ronaldo came back from behind Juventus and defeated them and did the cojones celebration again. And it was a whole big dramatic thing. And it was a big game today. Big game. Huge game. The marquee lineup, man. The lineup. Let's go through the lineup here. All black in goal. Let's start with Atletico Madrid. Trippier, Savage, Jimenez, Lodi. Lodi and Trippier are new boys to Atletico Madrid. Trippier, a big save off the line. Let me mention that before I forget. A big goal line clearance there. So let me mention that before I forget. Then Koke, Thomas Partey, Saul, Thomas Lemar, João Felix, the 100 million euro man, or 100 million pounds too, and Diego Costa. So it was a star-studded lineup with Angel Correa, Hector Herrera, the hero of the day, and Vitolo, who did really well coming off the bench. For Juventus, listen to this lineup. Ronaldo, Higuain, Cuadrado, Matuidi, Pjanic, Khedira, Sancho, De Ligt, Bonucci, Danilo, Szczesny. On the bench, Buffon, Bernardeschi, Bentancur, Demiral, Rabiot, Dybala, and Ramsey. Ramsey making his Champions League debut for Juventus as well. And Ramsey haven't been in the Champions League for quite a while because Arsenal haven't been playing Champions League football as of late. It seems like they don't want to play Champions League football. But what a freaking game. It ended in a 2-2 draw with Atletico Madrid remarkably coming back from being 2-0 down. First goal was scored by Juan Cuadrado. Very spectacular goal there. Spectacular goal. One to remember. And then Matuidi with another spectacular goal in the second half there. Thumping header. What a fucking header, man. You know what I'm saying? Jan Oblak, I was like, oh man. Jan Oblak is rated as one of the best goalkeepers, if not the best goalkeeper in the world, and he couldn't stop that. So, in 65 minutes, Atletico Madrid were 2-0 down. Deservedly. Because Ronaldo and company, they were playing really, really good football. They were playing good football. And I can tell from watching the other game, the commentators were talking about that game as well. So, Juve was dominating, but Diego Simeone and his team have a knack of being very, very gritty and very, very hard to beat, and they came back. 78th minute header through Stefan Savic. It was from a set play scenario. Juve has not been very good at set plays. Remember last season when Ajax exploited them in the set plays, and it's happening again. And then late in the 90th minute, another set piece again, Hector Herrera scoring that headed goal to beat Szczesny. 2-2. Well-deserved draw in the end. Great fight back by Atletico Madrid. Juventus had their chances, but they failed to beat Oblak again. I can remember in the lates there, Ronaldo dribbling through the defense, and he put his shot wide off the far post. So, very, very good stuff, man. I wish we have more games like this. Despite the game not having a result, it was one to remember. I'm looking forward to the second leg. Are you? As for stats in this game, guys, Atletico Madrid, 19 shots at goal, 8 on target. Juventus, 11 shots at goal, 6 on target. Juventus with 54% of the possession, Atletico Madrid 46. Both teams had similar stats in all departments. Hence the game finishing 2-2. But Maurizio Sarri making his Champions League debut for Juventus must feel aggrieved. Must feel that they should have won this game. And, you know, that's 2 points dropped. That's 2 points dropped against an Atletico Madrid team who are currently in a rebuilding phase. For some insights, Atletico Madrid have lost only one of their last 19 Champions League home games. Ridiculous stat. Winning 14, drawing 4, and losing 1. Losing only to Chelsea in September of 2017. This is a ridiculous stat. I can remember that Chelsea game too. Juventus became the first side to score at least twice at Atletico Madrid in the Champions League since Chelsea in September of 2017. So, Atletico Madrid has been very, very good at home. Tonight versus Atletico Madrid, Juventus started just one Italian player in a Champions League match for the first time in their history. Ridiculous! I did not even realize that. A single Italian player, Leonardo Bonucci. Wow. But enough with that, guys. That was a great game. If you have more insight on this, please let me know in the comment section down below. So let's talk about the Group C fixtures. The first one between Shakhtar Donetsk and my team, Manchester City. It ended in a 3-0 win for us, and it was a convincing victory. And we have done the best out of the 4 English teams on Matchday 1. Liverpool losing, Tottenham drawing, and Chelsea losing. So congrats to City for picking up this win. The only English team to win on Matchday 1. It was a convincing victory, and it was a good victory because we lost our last league game against Norwich City of all teams. And not to be disrespectful to Norwich, I should be respectful because they beat us with like 10 injured players not available. But we needed this win. It's definitely a confidence booster because we are going through somewhat of a, freaking injury crisis right now. We have literally no center backs. And that's talking about Nicolas Otamendi as well. We have no center backs. We have none at all. Fernandinho played center back today. Zinchenko, left back, Kyle Walker, right back. So these guys did a great job. They did a great job. 2 holding midfield as well, I should say. Rodri as a holding midfielder, Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne in the middle. Gundogan, even though I criticize him, I criticize Gundogan, he was brilliant. I think Gundogan was the man of the match today. Man of the match, chipping in with a goal and an assist. Riyad Mahrez was also good, chipping in with a goal and an assist as well. Raheem Sterling, he had a so-so game, had a few chances, hit the post, not his best game at all. And the last few games, he haven't been that good, to be honest. Gabriel Jesus started ahead of Sergio Aguero, chipping with the 3rd goal. So it was a good game for City. Very, very good game. A lot of positives with Mendy making a comeback, came off the bench. João Cancelo as well making his Champions Champions League debut for the team. Awesome, awesome stuff. Bernardo Silva was the other substitute to come off the bench for City. City's goals were scored in the 24th minute by Riyad Mahrez. It was an Ilkay Gundogan shot that hit the post, came back to Mahrez, who was in an onside position, and he put it past Piotov in goal. The second goal was scored by Ilkay Gundogan. That was a really nice goal set up by Riyad Mahrez. Gundogan did the rest, 2-0 up. Shakhtar didn't really put us under a lot of pressure. I could remember one time when Edison was way outside and they had a chance to put it in an empty net, but the shot went wide. And apart from that, Shakhtar didn't really threaten City that much. The third goal was scored by Gabriel Jesus after a brilliant breakaway, and Kevin De Bruyne, the assist king this season, setting him up. Gabriel Jesus ran behind and put it past Piotov to put the nail in Shakhtar Donetsk's coffin. Fernandinho was also returning to his old team, and Alexander Zinchenko returning to play in Ukraine once again. The third time in 3 consecutive seasons that we have drawn Shakhtar Donetsk. Interestingly, Alexander Zinchenko has never played any club football in Ukraine. He has played for Ufa in Russia and a few clubs. I think he went to PSV on loan and Manchester City. As for stats in this game, guys, Shakhtar 6 shots at goal, 1 on target. City 18 shots, 5 on target. Shakhtar had 46% of the possession, Man City 54. I think they had way too much of the ball, but they didn't do much with it. They did not do much with it. I don't like that they had so much of the ball, but still, we won the game. We still won the game convincingly. It wasn't a great start, but we played ourselves into the match and we ended it very well. So Pep should walk away from this game feeling very, very good. Very, very good victory as well. Very good victory. I'm happy. As a City fan, I feel great. After that Norwich loss, I feel great. And the fact that Liverpool are like 5 wins in 5 in the Premier League and they lost against Napoli, hopefully, that could dent their confidence and Chelsea could pick up a win. That's me throwing shots at Liverpool. Yes, I am. Our next game will be against Watford. They have a new manager, so hopefully, we could pick up a victory in the Premier League and not slip further behind Liverpool. To give you a few insights, guys, Shakhtar Donetsk have conceded 15 goals in their last 5 meetings with Manchester City in UEFA Champions League. The most they've conceded against an opponent in the competition. So great stuff. I didn't read that too well, though. My reading kind of sucks. Then for another insight, Man City have kept clean sheets in 4 of their 5 Champions League matches against Shakhtar Donetsk. Double the amount that they have versus any other side. So we know how to beat Shakhtar. We play very well against them. So for those of you who thought we were going to lose against Shakhtar, think again. And for the final one, since the start of the 2016-17 campaign, only Real Madrid with 84 goals and Bayern Munich with 72 goals have scored more Champions League goals than Pep Guardiola's Manchester City with 71. Awesome stuff for City, man. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And that segues nicely into the other Group C fixture where we saw a lot of goals and they were all scored by the home team, Dinamo Zagreb, who are back in the Champions League, picking up a famous victory as well. They haven't won a lot of games in the Champions League, so this means a lot for the crowd who turned up at the Maximir today. They really turned up. And I know a lot of you guys made comments and say you are looking forward, to hear what I have to say about Dinamo after I did predict them to place last in this group. Guys, do you believe that? I predicted Dinamo to place last and Atalanta to place second. And look at what happened to Atalanta today. 4-0. A comprehensive beatdown by Dinamo Zagreb. Atalanta could have pegged back a few goals, but the goalkeeper Dominik Livakovic was freaking awesome. Duvan Zapata wasn't able to score any, and he has been, going through some kind of purple patch of some sort. So it was simply an awesome performance by the team that I doubted. I have a Dinamo jersey right here, guys. So for those of you guys who think that, I don't know what I'm talking about, I covered, let's say, all the Dinamo games last season, like most of them, like half the league games and then all of their Europa League campaign where they made a run to the round of 16. So I know this team very, very well. I know every single player on this team. And when I tell you I know the players, I know the players. Great 4-0 victory though. Marin Leovac opening the scoring in the 10th minute. I think he was set up by Stojanovic, his opposite fullback. Awesome goal. And then Mislav Oršić, man, he has been one of Croatia's breakout player over the last year or so, having a great season last year. Number 99, he has been on fire. I remember doing a video talking about uncapped Croatian players and the ones who would make their debuts next. Mislav Oršić was on the freaking list. He has already made his debut for Croatia during the, the recent international break there in the Euro qualifiers, and he is showing them why they picked him. A hat-trick. I think this is his Champions League debut though. This could be his Champions League debut. I don't know if he was around the last time Dinamo was in there. If you guys have more insight on that, let me know in the comment section down below. But a brilliant hat-trick, man. The second hat-trick. I think this is the second hat-trick, right? Yeah. Erling Haaland with the first hat-trick and now Mislav Oršić with the second. It was a brilliant performance. It was 3 brilliant goals scored by Mislav Oršić as well. The build-up play and everything for all the goals. It was neat. Dani Olmo was buzzing today for Dinamo. It was a complete performance by the Croatian outfit, man. And you have to give hats off for Livakovic and the defense for keeping a clean sheet here against Atalanta, who is a very, very attacking team. I was quite surprised because I was getting the updates on my phone and I'm like 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4. And I was like, oh my God, Atalanta. They couldn't score. So it was a great performance by Dinamo Zagreb, man. Hats off to them and congrats. Congrats on picking up a big 3 points. The last team they defeated in the Champions League was no other than Arsenal. Of course, it was Arsenal. Banter Club, Arsenal. Dinamo Zagreb, 13 shots at goal, 6 on target. Atalanta, 13 shots at goal as well, 2 on target. One of those brilliantly saved by Livakovic. I don't know how he saved that. Dinamo Zagreb with 46% of the possession, Atalanta 54. 372 passes by Dinamo with a 72% pass completion. Not so good, but Atalanta weren't that much better with only a 73% pass completion. So great stuff by Dinamo Zagreb, man. Great stuff. I think this puts them on top of the group as well on goal difference. So congratulations, man. Try to stay up there. That would be awesome. You could take second and my team City could take first. Both are my teams, but they are in the same group, so I have to pick one, and that's going to be the team over here on my left, Manchester City. As for insights, Dinamo ended a run of 11 successive Champions League losses with a victory over Atalanta, recording their largest margin of victory in the competition. It's a big deal. It's a fucking big deal. It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal here. Then, Atalanta are the 10th Italian team to play in the competition. They're currently making their debut, guys. And this is the biggest defeat any team from Italy have faced on their debut. You're talking about teams like Juventus, AC Milan, Lazio, Roma, Inter Milan. Who else from Italy have played in the Champions League? Oh, man. Going kind of dry here. But if you know, just let me know down below. Then, last one, Atalanta conceded with the very first shot on target that they faced in their Champions League history. So that Marin Leovac's goal will be one to remember. So guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich, and this is my comprehensive review, the best review of the Champions League Matchday 1 fixtures on the entire internet, in this entire universe. And don't doubt me because it's quite true. Go look on YouTube, see if you'll find a better one. You won't. You definitely won't. So guys, if you're new around here, thanks for getting all the way to the end of the video. Hit the subscribe button. The channel is growing. The channel is growing very, very nicely. Road to 30K is in full effect here. Around this time next year, maybe we'll be at 40K. You know, it's growing nicely. Also, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And from your boy Dominic Rich, until match day 2, which will be in early October. Peace out. Rich Squad.